So today we're going to rebuild the Oakland Athletics, a team that just continues to sit at the bottom of MLB, and it really just comes down to their owner, player who just refuses to really make this organization good again. It sucks, he's ripping them out of Oakland, taking them to Vegas because there's a lot more money in Vegas, and of course he wants to line those pockets that he has. So today I'm taking over the Athletics. I'm going to put them back on top of the West, put them back on top of baseball, and let's go win them a World Series. So with this team, there's some good, there's some bad. I'm going to fly through it because realistically, most of these guys aren't going to stay with the organization. I'm not looking to keep a lot of these guys because, frankly, they're just not good enough. Looking at the starting rotation, Alex Wood and Ross Stripling were pieces that were acquired this offseason. Most likely trade bait come the deadline. Look to try to get something in return for them. Joe Boyle was the trade with the Reds for Sam Mole, I believe it was the reliever. They sent him to the Reds. They got Joe Boyle in return. Good strikeout numbers, bad walk numbers. Be interested to see if he can develop that. And then, of course, Luis Morales, one of the top prospects in the Athletics organization. That's kind of the pitching. Bullpen, you do have Mason Miller, who's coming back from Tommy John. I think that's what it was. It was an elbow injury. I'm assuming it's Tommy John. It's an arm injury. I'm assuming it's Tommy John. But looking to be either bullpen arm closer, limit the innings, hopefully limit the injuries. Exciting arm for the Athletics. Looking at the catching spot, you got Tyler Soderstrom. Guy hits, is an exciting bat for this team. We'll just kind of hold on to other catchers until Soderstrom's ready. Noda, solid first baseman, gets on base. There are some holes in his approach, but you know what? He's good enough to hold it down and be good. Like he's a solid first baseman. Second base, this guy right here. This is the guy to build around. Zach Gelof. Good player, really good player. Please don't trade him to the Braves. Just don't do that. Just don't do that. There's no reason to trade him to the Braves. There's no reason to trade him away at all. I just don't be the typical Athletics and trade him to the Braves for absolutely nothing. Third base, you do have the recent draft pick in Jacob Wilson, who looks to be a solid player too. Just looks to be good for the future. It'll be interesting to see how quickly he develops and how quickly they want to try to get him to the major leagues. Jordan Diaz, I know, is like top 10 prospects according to MLB for the Athletics. Top 10 for the Athletics. Let me clarify that. So it'll be interesting to see if he develops and we could use him in this team. Shortstop, a little bit of a question mark. Obviously, recent draft pick Miles Naylor is related to the other Naylor brothers, but 18 years old. It's going to take a lot of development to see him make the majors throughout this rebuild. And Aaron Nais is another one of those prospects with, a little bit of hype around him. So it'll be interesting to see how he develops. Left field, Andujar's having a good spring. Has he found that Yankees form that kind of put him on the map in the first place? Center field, Esteury Ruiz, hot and cold throughout last season, has the speed though. So that's a good asset. But for me, I've noticed he doesn't really do well in franchise, so I can't guarantee he'll stay with the team. It's really just going to be a season-by-season basis. Denzel Clark as another prospect, as well as Lawrence Butler, Henry Bolt. We've got some names. And then, of course, Brent Rooker had a really good season last year. Can he repeat? That's the team. I think it's okay, right? It's at the bottom for a reason. We've got some okay players. We've got some players that I'd be okay keeping. Gelof, Noda, potentially Rooker, and where's the other one? Maybe Jordan Diaz, depending on how he develops, but that still leaves a lot of holes in the lineup, a lot of question marks. So we'll see how the season plays out. Honestly, if I make a trade, it's probably going to be with one of these pitchers to try to get some sort of prospect in return. But let's get to the draft. Let's see what we can find. So heading into the draft, I have a few position players on my mind because I feel like out of the top 10, these are probably some of the best ones that are available. As you can see, we've got a couple third basemen, a first baseman, a second baseman, and some outfielders. There are a couple pitchers, but I feel like, let's get a position player because there's actually some really good ones. We've got the number 2 on our board in Spencer Hyde, a little bit older, so he's going to be a little bit closer to MLB ready. First baseman, I feel like he looks just super well-rounded. I like what I'm seeing here. Giancarlo Santiago. Great baseball name, by the way. Second baseman, third baseman, not a lot of power, but just looks, again, super well-rounded. We have him at 6, not bad. Prince McMullen. MLB has him at 1, we have him at 7. So there we go. Again, really well-rounded stats. Lefty bat, can play all across the outfield. I'm in. Big guy too, 6'3", 203. I'm in. Jack Huff looks to be a power hitter, but we had him at 36. MLB has him at 36. We have him at 8. There's that. Piedra, third baseman, first baseman, looks to be a corner guy. A little bit older, so he's going to be closer to MLB ready. But again, a power bat. And then Derek Sanders, again, it's just another corner guy, but a well-rounded player. So if we can get any one of these guys, which we should because we have the 4th pick and I have like 8 players here, we should be good to go. So who's going to be number 1? It is going to be Spencer Hyde. Okay, so the Guardians take the first baseman in Spencer Hyde. Number 2 is going to be Giancarlo Santiago. Okay. Are they really going to choose 3 straight position players? Because that would suck. All right, long hair shouldn't be one of our guys. It's going to be Josh Piedra. Okay. So it actually is one of our guys. And they go 1, 2, 3 with some of the positions. So that actually kind of limits us. We had 6 guys on our board. Half of them are gone. And I think if I'm taking one, I think it's the outfielder, McMullen. I think it is. He just looks, if we're looking at all the attributes compared to Huff looks like he's pure power, right? The contact's a little low, vision discipline's a little low. And then he actually looks pretty good too. Maybe a little, he is 23 though. Also potential's probably a little bit lower than the other guys. I'm gonna take Prince McMullen. I like the name Prince. Put him in the outfield, 6'3", 203 pounds. The speed looks high. I feel like this guy checks off all the boxes. We you know what, Prince, let's get him into the team. All right, so the Dodgers just offered me Tony Gonsolin for Alex Wood, which, sure, why not? Sure, why not? I think he's kind of like one of those odd ones out once the Dodgers' younger pitchers start to develop anyways. 2-year deal plus arbitration, might as well. He's having a good year in AAA, hasn't pitched at the major league level yet. So for Alex Wood, a player that I wasn't going to keep anyways, he's having an season, so why not? Let's make the deal. They're about the same rating. It's just Gonsolin's a little bit younger, so sure. All right, I'm at the deadline. I got to make a couple trades. Seth Brown, potential went down to D. He's also struggling this season. I was looking at different trade offers that I could do. Seth Brown was a player that I was like, let's get rid of him. Carl Edwards Jr. was a player that the Cubs offered up, and I thought for a reliever, he is a free agent at the end of the season, but we could bring him back. Why not take a shot on him? Yeah, I'm going back to the Reds. I'm going to get Connor Phillips. Yeah, I don't know how Ross Stripling and Abraham Toro gets it, but Connor Phillips is in the team. Is he going to start this year? Probably not. Essentially, what I was looking for were players that could help us out in the future. After the trade, this is currently what we're looking like. Again, it's not great. It's not great. Players are doing really bad. Denzel Clark has gotten called up. We'll see how he does. He hasn't been fantastic in AAA. Nobody really has, to be honest. They're just not a lot. Even Tyler Soderstrom's kind of struggling, which is not what you want to see. Connor Phillips is also going to be put into AAA. This is currently what our team's looking like. Joe Boyle's going to come up. He had like a 2.11 ERA in AAA. So let's see how he does. Obviously, Gonsolin is also part of the rotation from the trade. Waldichuk and Hogan Harris. Hogan Harris, man, been bad. But we'll see how it goes. We don't really have a lot of trade capital. I kind of just went with what we had, and a lot of players become free agents, so we have money to spend. Like next year, we only have $3 million on the books. So a lot of players in arbitration. It'll be interesting to see what we can do with the team. We should have money to spend too. So let's just skip through the trade deadline. What do the Braves want? No, they can't have them. So we're gonna move to the trade or the signing deadline, which I already have everybody finalized and signed. So let's go. Did we make the right decision? Did we? We did. Yes. Okay, so yes, there's a 63 potential reliever here. I didn't scout him at all, so that's perfectly fine. I'm more worried about the fact that we have a generational talent in center field. Speed, no stealing though, but speed, fielding, and hitting all across the board. Lefty, 6'3". Yes, the Prince has arrived. 81 potential for our second pick. Chris Reyes, 75 overall with 81 potential. We got 2 players who immediately hop into our team right off the rip. Harper Ramirez, 63 overall is not bad. Then we've got Richard Helton, 59 overall. Okay, Bennett Sosa, 66 overall with 88 or 85 potential, and then 92 potential for Rodriguez, who's 52 overall. So first off, Forrest Peacock, what a name. But I'm going to see if I can quickly find the players that we were looking at. Spencer Hyde went first overall, 90 potential. Pretty good pick there for the Guardians. I'm trying to see the other guys that I was interested in. Derek Sanders had, wow, I'm glad we avoided him. Woo! That was almost really bad for us. Piedra had 90 potential, but as you can see, he's very power heavy and fielding heavy. So good that we didn't go with him. And then there was one more. There he is, the second baseman, Giancarlo Santiago. Looks good. This is one that definitely the short player build. Bad fielding, good stealing and speed and good vision, contact, that kind of stuff. Slappy hitter, short. Yeah, this is the standard short player build on MLB The Show. So you know he's going to hit like 300. It's just he's going to have like one home run all season. I'm pumped. I'm so pumped. A generational talent. Are you serious? Yes. And a really good pitcher in the second round. Great draft. What a season we had. 55 and 107. Yeah, that's he's got to be the worst record in baseball. Like, can't even be close. The Nationals were close, and so were the White Sox weren't. So yeah, we were bad. We were so bad. Our team ERA was almost 5. We hit under 250 as a squad. Just quickly taking a look at that, how that ranks. We weren't the worst batting average. What about the worst runs? We weren't even the worst runs. Obviously, we do play in a tough division, so like that does kind of play a part, but like not really. We're just a bad team. I'm trying to see the ERA. We were the worst team by a lot. Like, pitching was terrible. League leaders will fly through a little bit. Like, I fully expect, kind of the usual names to keep popping up, like Trey Turner with doubles makes sense. Shohei. Oh, speaking of Shohei, whoa, crazy story going on around him. In the comment section, let me know your thoughts. Is he the one doing the gambling? Was it eBay? What do you make of the whole situation? I just feel like the whole cover up of the story was to kind of cover Ohtani, to make sure that like nothing really happened to him, which, I mean, just if Ipe was betting, just throw Ipe, just say Ipe was bet. There's no reason to change your story 10 times. So we've got Yordan and Ohtani as your MVP winners. Strider and DeGrom as the Cy Young winners. Did I say Cy Young? MVP for the offensive players in Ohtani and Alvarez. Cy Young for DeGrom and Strider. Turner and Evan Carter with the batting title. Jason Foley along with Evan Phillips. 59 saves for Evan Phillips. That's pretty impressive for relievers of the year. Rookie of the year went to Miguel Sano, which, no, that should not have been. 36 home runs is pretty impressive with 100 RBIs. Whew. And then Yamamoto. Realistically, Sano's already been in the league, right? So it should have been Colt Keith that won it. Actually, it really should have been Evan Carter. Like, that's an insane season that he just put up. There's no reason why he shouldn't be at the top. Sano should not have won it. Yamamoto won it on the other side. Gavin Stone in second. Young Hoo Lee in third. All right, looking at the team. Let's get ready. All right, so who was sent down? I think. Okay, so Natoli didn't pitch at all. Garrison Moreno, I called up in September. How did he do? It was pretty good. Honestly, let's potentially give him a spot in the bullpen next year. Again, I don't expect this to be good, so we'll see what happens there. If we look at the rest of our MLB guys, Lucas Erceg wasn't bad. Was Erceg the one that used to be a position player and then became a pitcher? Why do I feel like why do I remember that? Like with the Brewers, right? Why does it, that seems so familiar. Zach Jackson. He's 29 in his picture. Why does he look like he's like 50? That's just a bad picture that they took of him. Scott Alexander, probably gonna let him walk after the season. Trevor Gott, I know, is injured in real life. We've got Carl Edwards Jr., who was good. I think I'm gonna try to bring him back. Why not? He was pretty good. Might as well. We need the help. Medina came up, didn't pitch at all. Mason Miller struggled a little bit. I'm totally expecting this because of like a little bit of the low walks per 9. The control is a little bit low, but he's improving. I'm excited for that. Paul Blackburn, I was going to trade him, and he was sitting around a low 4 ERA, high 3 ERA, and I thought, you know what? We've got one more year of arbitration. Let's see if he can slightly improve on that, since he was improving in the attributes. So I thought, you know what? Let's bring him back. Let's see what we can do. If he does really well and we're doing really bad, we can always trade him while his value is really high. JP Sears, again, another one of those guys that let's bring him back. Hopefully he can improve. Joe Boyle, 18 walks. Okay, a lot of runs. Not the best. Gonsolin was okay. Again, a player that like I don't really have high expectations for. Just be okay. That's really what I'm looking for. Just okay. And then Ken Waldichuk. not great. Lineup wise, I'm assuming some of these guys were sent down. Let's see here. I yeah, not much I'm looking at there that I'm like, yeah, looks good. Nick Allen, Andujar. Yeah, bench was bad. Bench was bad. That makes sense. Ruiz's potential went down, which is not what you want to see. He also just wasn't great. Gelof's potential went up, and he was great. So that's even better. We've got Noda, who I said is going to be solid for us. He went up to an 82 overall with 31 home runs. Love to see that. It's okay. You know what? I'll take that season. Let's see if we can get one more year out of him and then maybe try to trade him again. Soderstrom got called up in September, and he wasn't bad. I think moving forward, he's probably the guy I want at the catcher spot or the DH spot just to let him continue to improve. Actually, he might be another AAA start next season. How did Clark do? I gave him the opportunity. Yikes. Langoliers was actually not bad. Almost at 800 OPS with 20 home runs. Yeah, I'll take that. Jordan Diaz, not great. Not great at all. Aledmys Diaz, I know is not great. And then back to Ruiz. Yeah, it's looking a little brutal. Realistically, we're trying to hold off until Jacob Wilson's ready, which he's close. Probably a late call up next season. And then I just really don't know what to expect moving forward. Like it's looking a little bleak with the team that we've got so far. So let's see what happens. Playoffs now. Who's going to win it? It is going to be the Orioles defeating Diamondbacks. Okay, that's an interesting World Series for sure. And if we move on to the next one, let's see here. I said I was going to bring him back. Let's do a year. I'll just give him $3 million, make him a bullpen arm so he's a little bit happier and should immediately sign the deal. Fingers crossed. Staff-wise, I should probably get rid of some of these guys who are bad, like the pitcher for sure. I don't think he's hurting us, but he's definitely not helping us. So I'm going to see if I can find a better one. So realistically, I don't even know what to talk about for free agency because we need everything. We need pitching, both rotation and bullpen. We also need lineup help too. So who knows what we're going after. So here we go. We're going to pick up Alec Vesia. I need a lefty in the bullpen. So I'm going to take him from the Dodgers for Zach Jackson and Hogan Harris. So I think that actually keeps us within the limit of 26. So Vesia, Sims picked him up on a 1-year deal, 2.6 mil. He was decent last year. I'm expecting similar, maybe a little bit worse results. I just needed a bullpen arm. And I didn't really want to go out and go crazy with my spending. Like you'll see, I still have plenty of money for next year moving forward. My thing was, we've got a couple decent players. And by a couple decent players, I'm really just kind of waiting on this guy right here, Jacob Wilson. So we'll have Wilson, we'll have Gelof, Noda, technically, Soderstrom as well. And then outfield, you know, we've got Prince. He's there. The pitcher, we've got, where is he? Chris Reyes. So we've got a couple young players who are like a season away. So I didn't really want to go like really crazy, be like Soto, Shane Bieber, this guy, that guy, blow our budget. And then when we actually have holes in the team and I need to spend, then I'm kind of stuck. So I'm letting these young guys develop. Like Joe Boyle could be really good. We have Reyes. I picked up Soroka. You know, Waldichuk could develop into like maybe like a long reliever that'll help us out a little bit. Couple decent pitchers down here. We traded for Connor Phillips. You know, we'll slowly start to form the bullpen up a little bit. And then once these young guys develop, then we can spend the money, really build up this team and move from there. So we'll see what happens. I picked up a couple like AAA type guys in, where are they? Jonathan Aranda was one of them. And who, I don't even think I see any of the other ones, but you got to see like those type of players, like anybody that may have had slight potential, maybe a little bit of a piece we could use in the future or for a trade. But this is going to be our MLB lineup. So Vesia through the trade, Sims we signed, Castro we signed, a 1-year deal, 2.6, really similar to what Sims is making. Mason Miller, Edward Jr., and then John Brebbia, another player I picked up, $4 million. So we'll see how he does here. Blackburn, Sears, Joe Boyle, Gonsolin, and then Mike Soroka, who I picked up for $5 million. No club option. Let's just see how he does for 2 seasons. And I'm thinking something like this for the team. So yeah, this is what we're rocking with for the start of the year. And then this is our bench. It looks pretty abysmal. I know it looks bad. I also didn't realize JJ Bleday actually had a decent season last year. Off the bench, of course, but maybe he could be a bench bat for us. Esteury Ruiz is probably a guy that like I'll let him hold it down for another season. He really shouldn't be facing righties, but I don't. Garrett Hampson, I guess, is going to be our leadoff guy. I totally forgot JD Davis signed with the Athletics. So yes, he wasn't on the team season 1. I completely forgot that was like even a thing until I saw him in free agency, and I go, oh yeah, he's an Athletic. I think he signed like a 1-year, $3 million deal or something like that. Just that he probably would have helped us out at third base last year. So yeah, there's that. So I picked him up. I signed him for $4 million. He wasn't great last year. I'm hoping maybe like give us a season. We'll trade him. I mean, that's probably what the Athletics are going to try to do anyways if he has a good season. So Hampson has been brought in on a 1-year deal. We still have Geloff, Noda, Brent Rooker. We've got Sano, who I brought in on a 1-year deal as well, $4.5 million. We've got Lawrence Butler in left, Langeliers in center, JD Davis at third, and Esteury Ruiz is last. JD Davis is definitely going to move up in the lineup. Maybe something like this. He moved up 2 spots. So yeah, we've got that going for us. And then lefty lineup, it's just basically you hit lefties well, get in the lineup. So yeah, I'll rearrange this as well. And then if we're talking about like players that are ready or close to being ready, Denzel Clark, Soderstrom. I sent down Urseg just because we had slightly better relievers overall wise. We've got Jacob Wilson, Jordan Diaz was sent down, Aranda, Connor Phillips, Garrison Moreno. So we've got some players with some potential that could hopefully step in. Let's get through this season. All right, second year draft, I have 1 player and 1 player that I want. That's it. Because I know he's close to MLB ready, and it's Louis Roman out of Iowa, 6'3", 215. We have him at rank 4. I just think he's the guy that is going to be close to MLB ready and high overall, like good potential, good overall, maybe lower ceiling but higher floor type situation. I'm all in. There's some other good prospects at pitcher, but I really need Roman, and he fell to us perfect. And by fell to us, I mean we had him at 4 on the board anyways. Good lord, way to go Nationals. So we have him at 4, so I guess it's a reach if you really want to be that. Yeah, but you know what, Louis Roman in the team, number 2 overall pick. I think it's a safe pick, I know, but this is a pick we need. All right, number 3 is Aaron Schroeder. He might be good. I just didn't like the looks of everything that, plus the 77 potential type situation. Yikes. So yeah, let's just finish off the draft. I don't really know what I'm going to get. Probably a bunch of pitchers because the position players looked a little thin in this pool. So yeah, probably pitcher heavy this year. All right, I'm picking up Jesus Luzardo. He's on the trade block. So yeah, I'm getting a pitcher that I feel like we definitely need. I'm going to get rid of Blackburn, JD Davis, and Jonathan Aranda. So yeah, not a bad pickup. All right, Miguel Castro, Miguel Andujar, and Drew Swift are going to get me Carlos Hernandez and Kelly Luther. This is the main piece I wanted. Looks really good for the future. And Carlos Hernandez isn't having the best of seasons. He's pitched 20 innings, but essentially see potential. 28 years old, is developing currently. So I feel like we're getting, a player that will develop slightly in Hernandez, but more so Luther, who can help us out down the line. Going back to the Marlins for Ryan Weathers, another lefty. I'll show you why I need another lefty in a second. I'll just point it out. What 8.5 ERA? So yeah, let's bring in another lefty in Ryan Weathers. I'm thinking, right now the bullpen's looking okay. I was gonna trade Carl Edwards Jr., but he's still kind of slightly improving. Maybe we can get another year out of him. Maybe he's just not a setup guy. So maybe we go Lucas Sims there. And looking at the rotation now, it's not great, but we're 43 and 67, which is way better than last year already. Jacob Wilson is getting called up. Yep. Jordan Diaz is going to be on the bench along with Butler, Bleday, and Davidson. Yan Gomes I signed to be a backup catcher. Didn't really mention it, but it's a backup catcher. And I'm thinking this is kind of what our team's going to look like. Prince McMullen is also making his debut. It looks way better. I am going to make one more move. And I feel bad doing this because Yan Gomes is like, he's holding down his own. But if we're moving for the future, this is what we do. He was having a great year in AAA. Let's full send it. Esteury Ruiz is on the chopping block. The thing is, I just really don't have anybody currently that can slot into that spot. Maybe Clark Elliott, but not really. And then Aaron Ice is not really doing much. If we're looking at the best team, this is probably the best team that we've got. And Geloff's good. Sano has been putting up 27 home runs somehow. I'm gonna hold on to him for another season. Might as well. If it, maybe he starts to suck a little bit, we move him to the bench. We can bring somebody else in. The team, honestly, not bad. The young guys are starting to slowly trickle in. And next year, I think it's a full set. We finally got like Joe Boyle's doing a little bit better. He's improving, which is all I need. Soroka, we'll see. Maybe he takes Waldachuk's spot. But Luzardo, I think, is a huge pickup. Bring him back to Oakland. Totally forgot about that. Gonsolin, he might give me like another season, realistically. But then Chris Reyes is right there. So we're making the right moves. We just got to be a little patient. So let's finish out the season. Everybody's lineup and everything should be good except for the lefties, but that's okay. We go Wilson there, we go McMullen there, and that's it. We keep it the same. Yeah, the team's good. The team's good. I actually like what we did at the deadline. I was considering moving Hampson because he's having a good season, and I feel like we're probably in the market for a shortstop, which the only shortstop that I think comes up that's like good is Bo Bichette in free agency. The thing is, I just don't have a lot of trade capital unless I wanted to move like Denzel Clark, who is kind of struggling in AAA. So maybe capitalize on his value while I can and see if I can find a really good shortstop. Oh, he is. Do I have it? Do I have it? I definitely have this trade. Yep. I that's too good to pass up, right? It's too good to pass up, right? Another young, exciting Holiday, Wilson, Geloff as an infield. Are we serious? Yeah, make the deal. Like, let's finish off the season. That's too good to pass up. So yeah, you just saw that deal. Holiday right at the top of the lineup. Boom. Ooh, that is huge. We'll throw Soderstrom in here. Yeah. That's a crazy move that made us what is the average age of this team? 21, 25, 29, 30, 31, 23, 18, 23, 26. I mean, we're looking good for the future. I mean, pitching wise, Luzardo's under 30, Gonsolin just turned 30, 29 for Sears, 25 for Boyle, 27 for Soroka. The bullpen, yeah, it's a young team. It's an exciting team, and I like what we did at this deadline. So I'm just gonna sim one more day. We'll fix that. Picks, I think I signed everybody, which I'm good with. And now we take a look and see what our team's looking like. Roman, were you the move? You were definitely the move. The dude can't field to save his life. He's basically John Lester. So there's that. We got Cliff Lux, who's also got a potential, 94, that is, 61 overall, 87 potential for Carmen Hernandez, he's 57 overall, and then 84 or close to 80 for the rest of the guys with a 71 overall, a 68 overall, and a 67. So they really won't get too much better, and realistically, looking at their per nines, they're probably not going to be that good anyways, but I mean, just another really good pitcher to add into the rotation when, Luzardo, we've got Reyes, and now Roman. That's 3 right there. And then sprinkle in some of these guys right here. The rotation might be set for the future. We could just spend big on the missing pieces in the lineup, which, potentially a DH, potentially a center fielder. I mean, wow. We've really built this team around the youth, and I like it. But not like Wander Franco like it. Like, I like it because it's a young, exciting team with a lot of potential to win awards. Not Wander Franco style. No, we don't do that here. 60 and 102, which I believe is what? Just like slightly better, actually. Yeah, 5 games better than last year, which at least it's an improvement. I'll take that. Team rankings wise, we were way higher in batting average this year. Runs, we were also way higher. Again, we were 16th. We were right in the middle of the pack in terms of run production. Home runs, again, in the middle. Ooh, close to a top 10 team in terms of home runs. So it looks like the offense is there to compete. I think the pitching's probably going to be an issue, and the fact that, again, we do play in a tough division. Yeah, we're towards the bottom, 29th. So there's the issue for ERA. League leaders wise, Bregman, who was a free agent for a big portion of the offseason, and I think he signed like a month before spring training signed or something like that. Spring training started. or something like that. He signed a 3-year deal to go back to the Astros, but Mookie Betts was at the top. Let's see. Any other crazy? Harold Ramirez with that bats and hits. Huh. Evan Carter, did he pop off again? Yeah, he did. It's going to be pretty difficult. Mike Trout, Evan Carter. Yeah, those are two guys I just don't want to see a lot of. Triples went to Carroll and Bobby Witt Jr. Home runs was Judge. Oh, yeah, there's also Jordan. Yeah, I mean, it's Sano. Sano's up there. I'll take that. But yeah, the West is tough. The West is tough for sure. And if we continue to look through some of the league leaders, some familiar names. It seems like there's some repeat names every year. Judge, MVP this season, beating out Jordan and Vladdy. Ohtani won back-to-back, beating out Gorman and Strider. Strider was the Cy Young winner along with Shane McClanahan. Okay, Shane Bieber with the Angels. Interesting. Duran and Bednar, relievers of the year, beating out Yuki Matsui and Hunter Harvey. Gabriel Gonzalez, who is a Twins prospect, right? But he won Rookie of the Year with the Marlins. And Emmanuel Rodriguez won it with the Twins this year. Okay. All right. So if we take a look at our team, again, we're not in the postseason, so players are like not where they need to be. That's fine. Yeah, I think Waldichuk, I've kind of seen what to expect from him. Maybe we just let him sit in AAA for a couple seasons, figure out a couple things, go from there. Moreno didn't really get a shot, but like his per-nines aren't bad. He's kind of like my extra reliever if need be. We also got Luther through the trade. Weathers, also another name to kind of keep an eye on just in case we need him. Didn't really do well with us this season, but 66 overall, he's a lefty. I feel like we'll use him at some point. Connor Phillips got called up, was pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah. Vesia slightly improved. I mean, oh boy. Oh no. All right, maybe I won't bring him back. Hernandez wasn't bad for ERA. We got Mason Miller, who improved, which is just what I was looking for. Take him out of that pressure situation of the closer, put him in middle relief. We might have our guy. And as the years go by, we might throw him back in the closer spot. We'll see. Lucas Sims, fantastic. Didn't do a 2-year deal, but I'll see if I can bring him back. Probably won't be under $3 million, but I think we have the money to make it work. Ursaga came up, wasn't that great, but again, really small sample size, so I can't really judge him there. If we look at Luzardo, he's fantastic. He's back. One more year of ARB, then a free agent. Might look to extend him. Probably should extend him if he's going to be the guy at the top of the rotation. Gonsolin, I fully expect him to slightly regress, like basically every year moving forward. So we'll probably keep him next year, let him walk, or try to trade him. That's just the plan. JP Sears, okay. Boyle, not great, but realistically, if he can just kind of settle in this like 4 or 5 spot and we have better pitchers above him, I think we'll be fine. Soroka, we have him for one more season. It's $5 million. Might as well see what he can do in the 5 spot. And then Reyes definitely comes up next year, either as the long reliever or, maybe Boyle's the 3, Soroka's the 4, Reyes is the 5. And I think with Gonsolin and Luzardo above him, that's really not a terrible rotation. Is it great? No. But yeah, we'll see. Plus we brought in Roman, who's also good. He's a couple years away. So I guess we could what we could do is Luzardo, Gonsolin, Boyle, Soroka, Reyes, or we sign someone really good and then one of those names pop into the long relief role, which is actually not a bad idea either. AAA, what do we got going on here? Jordan Diaz got sent back down after 50 ABs. He struggled. I mean, realistically, he's still not that MLB ready based on his attributes, but I would like to get him into the team a little bit. We'll see how it really pans out in the end. Looking at the rest of the names here, I just need players to develop, so there's that. Langoliers, how we looking? Backup catcher moving forward, it's Soderstrom's job. So sorry, you had one decent season, then I took it away from you. But even this year, based off the almost 400 ABs, he wasn't that great. Yan Gomes, honestly, 37 years old catcher as a backup, I'll take it. JJ Bleday wasn't as good as last year. He also had way less at bats. Logan Davidson, and then now if we take a look at our starters, what a crazy trade we got. What a crazy trade for Jackson Holiday. Zach Geloff. There we go. Wasn't as good as last year, but was still very solid. Noda was also very, very good. Probably this is the cap for him. So first baseman, just kind of keep it in the back of our mind. Probably going to need one for the future. I'll take this. Bring him back for another ARB or 2. Yeah, why not? Sano, off the bench or DH. The guy's hitting home runs for us. I like it. Jacob Wilson got his first taste of the majors. Okay. Peter McMullen, though. There we go. I like what I see there. Tyler Soderstrom also struggled a little bit, but you kind of expect that. Esteury Ruiz has basically been relegated to the bench. He's the new bench bat moving forward. The speed off the bench. Who wins the World Series? It is going to be the Padres defeating the Twins. Okay. Let's see. I didn't check the award for the MVP last year. JD Davis won it this year. Adley Rutschman won it last year. 20 postseason RBIs is insane. Holy cow. 20? That's a postseason. He hit like 452, right? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, who retired? So, Kershaw, Verlander, and Scherzer. And then I found out, I think I saw it on Twitter, where if a player is a free agent and they retire, they get assigned a team. So Verlander and Scherzer, I've been seeing Scherzer as a national, like every time he retires. That's why he's been getting assigned the Nationals, and obviously Verlander's getting assigned the Tigers here. So that's kind of a cool thing that was added in franchise. So there we go. So Lucas Sims, I think we take a shot on him. One more year. He's gonna want like $6 million. I add him to the bullpen. We'll go 6.5. That should lock him up. Sano, I hope he wants like, yeah, there we go, like $4 million. He probably is going to be an everyday guy, at least a DH spot, right? So why not take a chance on him? I think I'm going to let him walk because I think we can find somebody else. Same thing with Gomes. It's just that's an age thing with Gomes. What about the staff? Okay, I can find those guys later. If we move into the offseason, like I said, looking at the team, shortstop's good now. Second base is good. First, right, potentially, if I find someone that's like crazy good and I can upgrade, sure. McMullen in left, Esteury Ruiz is like whatever. Honestly, a Michael McMullen there. Left field, let's see. Oh, is he? Let's add him to the 40-man. He's in contention for a spot. I don't know if he actually will get a spot, but he's in contention for a spot. But definitely an outfielder. Definitely an outfielder for sure. Just based on like, Bladay's really not the guy moving forward. Clark Elliott could potentially slot in over Esteury Ruiz and potentially a DH if we don't get Sano. But honestly, the offense is it's kind of a waiting game with them. And then pitching, like I said, if we can get like one more really good pitcher, I think I'm in on that. So a Cease, a Gallon, probably if I could get one of those two, that's a huge offseason for us. Otherwise, I'll settle for someone that's a little bit lower rated, maybe Savale if I want to go like kind of safe. Maybe someone in this range right here if I want to go safe. I would really like a really good bullpen arm. And then if we're looking at outfielders, not too much. So we'll see what kind of happens, how the offseason plays out. If there's like 6 years, 88 mil, I don't really have an infield spot though. So like I feel like I could definitely pay that price, but I don't have an infield spot available. So there's that. But I like the team so far. Let's see what we do this offseason. All right, season 3, let's take a look at this team. I spent a little bit of money, and you know what? It wasn't a crazy amount, because if you look at it, it goes from 88 to 39. So we still have a lot of money to play with. It's not a big issue. If you were eagle-eyed, you would have seen one of the players that we signed, Jordan Montgomery. 2-year club option. I didn't really feel like I needed the team option. It's just like, if he does really well, why not keep him around? I tried to get Dylan Cease I was a 5-year deal. He ended up signing a 6-year deal. And then the other one I tried to get was Zach Gallen. That was the other player. But then I realized I think I got Zach Gallen in the last rebuild or the rebuild before. So I was like, you know what, let's switch it up. And then there really weren't any other options available. So I know I've had Jordan Montgomery before. It was literally just like a last resort pitcher for me to get in the price range that I was kind of okay with, around 15 mil for 2 seasons. So there's that. Plus, this still allows us to, even if he does really well, I can just let him go in the offseason and then just get a different pitcher if there's a big name available. Which brings me to the point. The Royals went out and got Gallen and Cease. I was being cheap. That's what cost me. It's cost me in every single rebuild that we've done. I was cheap. And look at the Royals went out and spent what? 22-ish million on Zach Gallen, which I really should have done it. 22 mil is a steal. Dylan Cease, yeah. That's 6 years. That was the big difference. I offered him 5, he wanted 6. So they went out and spent what, 28 plus 22, so 50 mil on 2 pitchers this offseason. There's that. Plus Cole Reagans is still really good. They still have Walker Buehler, who's good. You know, Cole Wright, honestly, in the 4 spots, not the worst outcome. Depending on what their lineup's looking like, they could be a crazy good team. PCA, Michael Garcia. I mean, it's one of those teams that they could be good. There's a lot of pop in that bat. There's also a lot of strikeout in that bat too. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, I went out and got Montgomery, and I thought with the rest of this team, it's still kind of on the up, right? We're still season 3. I really wasn't expecting to really be a playoff team yet, more so like a wild card team or like fighting for a wild card team. I know I just said I wasn't expecting to be in the playoffs, and then I expected to be a wild card team. Essentially what I'm expecting was like at least fighting for a wild card spot in season 3. And I think with this pitching staff, we definitely can. I brought him back. For some reason, he's already gone down. He hasn't even pitched yet this year. 6.5 mil. Kyle Finnegan was available. And I was like, you know what? Good season last year, 2.5 mil. Why not? Caleb Ferguson was another lefty that was available. Again, lefties are really, 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 really difficult to find, especially good ones. So I went and got Caleb Ferguson. I know he's featured a lot. I also know, you know, my other lefty that I can't think of right now has featured a lot. It's just that lefties are hard to find. So I went back with Caleb Ferguson, and I'm going to give Mason Miller one more shot at the closer role. We'll see how that goes. We do have Luther down here. I need to, of course, reorder this. Waldichuk, Moreno's down here. I turned Waldichuk into a reliever. That's why his rating is so low. And then Reyes is really just waiting to see how JP Sears / Gonsolin / Soroka do. So we'll see from there. Luis Roman's right there too. Connor Phillips. Steven Echeverria has been developing kind of very quietly, but also very, very well. I like that. Luis Morales too. So like our pitchers are doing well. Like some of the best development that I've seen from the pitchers in recent rebuilds. Lineup wise, again, like the farm system's like okay. Jordan Diaz is going to chill here. Butler's going to chill here. A couple other guys too. Obviously looking at the team, Langoliers, Estuary Ruiz, Luis Garcia from the Nationals. I gave him a 2-year deal for 4 mil. Super cheap. I'm not expecting big things, but if he can come off the bench, kind of like a Luis Guillorme type situation, if he can come off the bench, just high average, decent on base percentage, I'll be happy. I'm not really expecting him to be the starter because we've got better players, but I'm just looking for him to be a decent bench bat. Kind of the same with this guy. He hasn't really done it, but for 4 mil, why not? And then Richie Palacios is another player that I was like, you know what? Sure, why not? He can play a couple different positions. He can fill out the bench. Lineup currently sits like this. Not much has changed, if anything, besides Clark Elliott is starting. And then versus lefties, he is not. He is not. Estuary Ruiz takes his spot. So that's the team. We're ranked 22nd. I feel like we're definitely underrated here, but overall, I'm pretty happy with the team. I'm not at the deadline yet. I'm at the All-Star break. My pitching is atrocious. I'm baffled. I'm speechless. There's nothing to say. It's so bad. I've got a couple guys with 8 ERAs. I got a couple guys with 6 ERAs. It's terrible. Kyle Finnegan and Max Schumann are going to get me Garrett Crochet. You're going to say, hey, that's a good pickup. Yeah, he's got a 10 ERA. Like, it doesn't really help the situation, but at least I have faith. Which means I'm gonna trade some of my lefties. Vesia has only gone down, which is very unfortunate. So I really just need to go around and find the best pitchers available. I know Ian Hamilton does fairly well. Honestly, would you rather have Lucas Sims? Because I'm down to give you Lucas Sims because he has been garbage. 7 ERA? Are we serious? Can I get Garrett Whitlock? He's regressing. All right, what if we get somebody that's not regressing? What about Bruzdar? Bruzdar, he's probably also going to start to regress soon too. Abner? Jeez, okay. I mean, I don't even know who to go for at this point. How's he looking? You know what? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? It gets worse, because I don't think that's possible realistically. I feel like we're in a tough spot. He's a lefty. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go for Ian Hamilton. Ooh, actually, within the division, I normally don't like to trade within the division for rebuilds. I know it's not like a thing that happens in real life, like it's not a rule or anything, but I just feel like it's one of those things where, like, sure, why not? Like, I don't know. I just feel like you're not normally trading within the division. I know it does happen. I know it does. Can I get these two? I'm gonna get these two. Vesia can go, and then I will throw in. I was gonna keep Moreno, but even he was really struggling. I'm gonna get rid of this deep potential guy that we're just not using. Or is there somebody like it's just like him? He's making too much money. He's holding us back a little bit. Do they have like Cletus House? How's Cletus House doing? I'll pick him up. Why not? 3 relievers for 3 pitchers. It's fine. It might. Yeah, I was worried he was going to get called up. I don't really want him up. But like Eli Morgan, Ferguson, Hernandez, Moreno will get sent down. We'll probably send down Moreno. We'll call up somebody. You're going to see what's going to happen here in a second. Joe Boyle. I don't know what happened to him. He forgot how to pitch. It's crazy. Soroka forgot how to pitch too. Sears isn't doing that great either. So I'm going to... My 40 man's full. Huh. I'm just going to look for a bench bat in Brian De La Cruz. I'm trading Esteury Ruiz and Logan Davidson. Esteury Ruiz just isn't doing it. I was even starting him only versus lefties. Yeah, it's just no point in keeping him. That opens up the spot for Roman finally, which is awesome. He will start. He's probably going to get rocked. I still have faith in him. I didn't even move him to the MLB roster. Not my brightest moment, but you know what? He's finally there. He's finally there. And I'm thinking we're rocking with the young guys. This is the team. This is the team now. The bullpen looks completely different. The rotations all shifted around. And then we're going to leave the lineup as is because right now it's fine. In the outfield, we'll put Brian De La Cruz here. I won't put him in center. I'll move Prince over there. And realistically, Prince might lead off. 345, 348. They're about the same. We're going to leave it. We're going to leave it. We're 4 games out. I still haven't done the draft. We're ranked 12th now, which is awesome. I am worried that we're going to fall off again. Hopefully we don't. And I know shouldn't have blown it up as much as I did, but with how bad it was, the fact that we were within the race, I got to do something to keep us in the race. So normally I don't show the 3rd draft just because by the time we get to like 4 and 5, we, don't end up seeing the players. It just takes too long for them to develop, right? Well, as you can see, we had the 1st round pick, right? Or the 1st overall pick. Drafted round 1, number 1. As you can see, the player was also very good at the age of 21. And by very good, I mean 78 overall. Good arm, decent speed. This is our left fielder, lefty bat, 98 potential. Tim Hickey. Look at the 2nd pick. 66 overall, 87 potential. Tim Hamill. And then the rest suck. I was kind of flabbergasted by the fact that this guy was as good as he actually was. So, yeah, our outfield set, which kind of is interesting now. How's Clark Elliott doing? He's taken full advantage of his opportunity. He is unbelievable right now. So we're going to have, it's probably actually going to be Brian De La Cruz is going to be our 4th outfielder, which is awesome. So then it'll be Brian De La Cruz is our 4th outfielder, Hickey in left, Clark Elliott in right, and Prince in center. And that's our outfield for the future. That's an insane outfield. That's huge. And then the crazy thing we've done with our pitching, we brought back Luzardo, who I forgot to mention. I extended his contract. As you can see, 2027, he gets a brand new contract, 20 mil on average for the next 5 seasons. And then we'll have Montgomery, maybe. He's doing really well. And with the fact that Gonsolin is also doing well, but not really improving, we could potentially just let Montgomery take over for Gonsolin. So we'll have Luzardo, Montgomery, Reyes, Roman, who is struggling a little bit right now. I know. But then there's Boyle still. We technically still have Soroka. Echeverria's up to a 73. Phillips is 72. But realistically, we're probably looking at Boyle, Luzardo, Reyes, and Roman. I don't know. It's still in the works. We're still in the race. Just after the draft signing deadline. As you can see, I let the CPU handle this one. I was really trying to fly through it, but whew, what a season so far. All right, figured let's show you season 3. We're currently up 1 game against the Astros and 2 for the Rangers. And guess how we finish off the year? Here we go. Essentially we have to win both series, right? Or at least If we sweep the Astros, they're out of it. And I guess technically, if the right, yeah, I mean, yeah, if we sweep and win one against the Rangers, I think we're good. So let's see what happens here. Losing two is pretty tough. We're tied with the Astros with one game above the Rangers. Can we do it? Okay, that's a good start. We lose that one. Is this going to be the deciding game? It is. If we win and the Astros lose, we win the division. And that is exactly what happened. We won the division. We're taking on the Rangers in the division series, though. Which, yeah. Oh, wait, we're a wild card team. Wait, what? Oh, that's right. The two best records get the ALDS, and then that's right. Which is unfortunate. And we also got a very unfortunate draw in the Rangers. Definitely a tough draw, but way better as a team. The ERA is still very high at 4.12, but the average at 2.60, looking better. So we're finally putting our name on the map, and we have an award, reliever of the year for Mason Miller. We'll come back to that though, because I do want to see where we rank as a team. Batting average wise, we're still kind of middle of the pack, 261. But what about runs this time? Almost top 10. We're 11th. Okay, all right. Home runs, we are top 10. All right, perfect. And then ERA, definitely gonna be towards the bottom, but should be a little bit better. We're creeping our way up. Yeah, 12th. Okay, we're starting to hit that we're actually past the middle. We're top half. We're almost top 10. So actually 412. Yeah, top 10 is 410. So we're actually not too far off a top 10 pitching staff ERA wise, right? If we take a look at awards, let's see what we got. Judge with his second MVP, Ohtani with his third MVP, Glasnow with the Cy Young. Finally, Strider does not win it. McClanahan won back-to-back. Bregman, his second batting title. Mookie Betts, his second batting title. Yuki Matsui, this time wins reliever of the year. I believe it was last year. He finished second. Mason Miller, I gave him the closer role. He ran with it. So there we go. Jackson Jobe is the rookie of the year along with Aaron Schroeder. Clark Elliott. There we go. Second place. I'll take that for sure. Held it down. Awesome. So looking at the team, I'm assuming, I was assuming there was going to be some changes here. So let me adjust this and we should be good. JP Sears ended up being our long reliever and was good, was decent. I feel like this is kind of where he needs to settle, this long relief spot if need be, but I definitely feel like he's kind of on the outside looking in to the rotation. Caleb Ferguson is regressing slightly, which is unfortunate, but we could also try to find another lefty. We've really struggled with lefties, so I mean, who knows? Carlos Hernandez bounced back here. Like to see that. Got his ERA under 4. Eli Morgan was solid for us. We've got Nick Sandlin, who was also very good for us. We got Garrett Crochet, who, hey, when his ERA was almost 9 and he brought it down to a 4.6, I think something good happened. Mason Miller, we saw, was reliever of the year. I mean, look at the numbers right there. Talk about a good season. If we take a look at our starters, Jesus Luzardo, yeah, I mean, that's what I gave him the big bucks for, and he delivered. Montgomery was good. I mean, sub 4 ERA, 1.2 WHIP, 200 innings pitched. I mean, I can't ask for much more. And for 17 mil, honestly, is really making it difficult for me to turn that down. Like that's a really good deal for a pitcher who's gonna slot in the top half of our rotation. Like Gonsolin also was very good. Is a free agent, is probably gonna want somewhere like 7-8 mil. If it's 10 mil, it's still not a bad deal. Is he a guy I want to bring back? Can I rely on him to still produce at this level? I don't know. Chris Reyes obviously broke into the team this year, was 8-7 on the season, just over 100 innings pitched. It was okay, right? I wasn't expecting crazy numbers, but he was good. Cutter, slider, changeup. Obviously only 3 pitches, but I can't complain about that season. He's only going to get better too. He's 23. Next up, another youngster, Lewis Roman, who 3.4 ERA, 1.2 WHIP. Yes, please. And back to Luzardo. So we'll see. Obviously, Joe Boyle is still an option. Kind of struggling. Same thing with Soroka. He's a free agent though, so we'll figure something out. I mean, like Echeverria, man, like is super well rounded. He could just replace Sears if need be. So we'll figure something out. We still do have a couple relievers too, but pitching wise looks solid. The bench, Palacios. Yeah, Palacios wasn't it. Honestly, looking at his attributes though, you would think he would do a little bit better. Maybe if he started, you could get some good production out of him. But yeah, Brent. Still solid. Brent Rooker, it's just super consistent. Like, I mean, you're getting around a 320 batting average, a 240-ish, 250-ish I lied. 240 to 250 average, 320-ish on base percentage, and the OPS is around 760. That's what you're getting. Honestly, I'll keep him for a bench bat. That's like perfect for him. Shea, how we looking? Yeah, you way less ABs. So I'm expecting kind of that from him. 270 average is okay. The on-base percentage is a little low, but you know what? Let's keep him. Good bench bat. Moncada, probably going to let him walk. Didn't really do much. And then there's Luzardo again. Starters, how we looking? Okay. I was hoping for a little bit better. I'm not going to lie, but I still have faith. Zach Gelof is insane. 30 home runs, 36 doubles. Love it. Noda, like I said, probably this is where we're going to see him capped out, but 32 home runs with 42 doubles is crazy. Good production. Sano, once again, 36 home runs. This is the new Chris Davis. 36 home runs, 3 seasons in a row. I feel like I need to test it to see if we can go 4 for 4. I feel like we have to. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like we have to. Brian De La Cruz obviously was an addition. Only 6 home runs, but the rest of the numbers are perfectly fine, especially for a guy who's going to end up being like our 4th outfielder. I think he's well good enough. Wilson, yeah, struggled. I mean, looking at his attributes, they're not bad. Obviously, they are a little low. Still have faith. He's 24. We got time. Not really, but he'll come good. Prince McMullen. I mean, the dude is crazy. 88 overall at 19 years old. Look at the stats. Look at the attributes, I should say. Any quirks? Situational hitter. Love it. There we go. Soderstrom, how we looking? Slight improvement. I'll take it. And then Clark Elliott was 2nd in Rookie of the Year. Had a good season. I'm really happy with this team. Now, the Rangers, tough matchup. They've got Jay Gabriel. Who is that? Someone they drafted? No, 24. Huh. He had a good season, 3.60 ERA. Is Jay Gabriel a real player? Let me know in the comment section. I've never heard the name, so he could be. But how are we looking? We lose the first, lose the second. Caleb Ferguson lost us the second game, and Luzardo got roughed up a little bit in the first. Yeah, I mean, I knew this was going to be a tough matchup. Like Evan Carter, Leote, Corey Seager, Adolis, Wyatt Langford, Nathaniel Lowe, Young. Yeah, it's a good team. Plus the pitching looks iffy, but like it's probably one of those like really glitchy good pitching rotations. The Phillies defeat the Rays. What the Phillies got? What do the Phillies have? Turner, Marsh, Harper, Castellanos, Bohm. I mean, besides Matt Vierling and Christian Betancourt, that's a Phillies team. And then pitching wise, oh yeah, so they just popped off. Yeah, they just totally popped off, which yeah, understandable. It's a good team. It's a good team for sure, especially with the really good hitters in franchise. That is exactly what you want. So we fell a little bit short this year, which is understandable, but I'm feeling good. This is where things get a little, I just don't know. Can I see like free agency? I was kind of hoping it would be like these guys became free agents. So what I'm thinking is, will he want the 17 mil? And also, do we have like the pitchers like JP Sears, Joe Boyle probably fight it out for the 6th man, or one of them slots in for Gonsolin? But then Montgomery obviously leaves a hole there. I feel like maybe we decline it and see what other options are available. Let's see. I'll make an offer here. What does he want for a year? It's less than the 17, so I'm okay with that. Crochet I knew was becoming a free agent when I traded for him, and I also knew I would be able to get him cheap because he wasn't having a good season. So I'm going to backload this. I'll give him a player option for the 3rd year, even though we're only doing 2 more seasons. Gonsolin I'm going to let walk, even though he's been fantastic for us. Caleb Ferguson I'm going to let walk. We'll see what other options are available. Soroka too. Moncada, and then Sano, I said I have to bring back. Like, we have to. We're going to give him 4 mil. He has been unbelievable home run wise, and we're going to run with it. All right, so here's the team. We're currently ranked 10th, which I think is pretty good considering how young of a squad we are. I brought back Jordan Montgomery. In terms of value at 15 mil, I thought it was just too good to pass up. He's also been good for us. So yeah, save 2 mil from the contract. Essentially, he got 13 mil last year. 17 mil was supposed to be this year. It evens out to 15 for the last 2. It's fine. It's fine. JP Sears is going to be here. Boyle's going to start in AAA. Hopefully he develops really well. And if need be, we call him up for one of our spots. I brought Tristan McKenzie, a player like I rarely ever pick up. And I thought for 14 mil on average for the next 5 years, why not? He didn't have the best of seasons last year, but did the year before. And if we're going like every other year, this is going to be a good season. It was just in terms of players that I thought for good value that we could pick up and also do well. Why not give Tristan McKenzie a shot? It just felt like, you know what, rather than paying like 30 mil for a top pitcher, let's just see what Tristan McKenzie can do. That way, if we really need to, we can spend some money next year. Just in case. I feel like we always got to leave some budget open. And I feel like let's try some new players that I normally wouldn't, because the best player available was Tarek Skubal, and I felt like we've got him recently. Let's get somebody different. Same thing with Dustin May. I got him a lot last year. Let's try to avoid him for a little bit. Reyes, Roman, they're there. And then this is currently the bullpen. Kelly Luther, I forgot who we traded for. Was he the Royals? Was he the Carlos Hernandez deal? Well, he's with the squad right now. Anyways, lineup-wise, we've got McMullen at the top, Geloff, Noda, Sano, Hickey has been introduced, Soderstrom, Wilson, Holiday, and Elliott. This is currently our bench. It's basically the same as last year, except for he is now on the bench. That's really it. And then no more Moncada. We got Jordan Diaz instead. That's the team. I think it looks good. I think we're underrated. I think it's just because we got those young guys, but those young guys they're gonna perform for us. Let's go win this West. So we are a postseason team. We're taking on the Rangers again. Not ideal. So let's see, man. Couldn't we like be like one of the Twins or the Guardians? Couldn't we have that instead? Why are we facing the Rangers? What's the situation here? All right, we finished 5 games behind the Astros, but look at that ERA, 3.5. That's what I'm talking about. And average of 260, pretty impressive. We take a look at where we rank as a team. 260 puts us, what, 15th? Wow, everybody just improved this year. So it was the offense that let us down a little bit this year, unless like runs wise we were still good. No, we were top 10 runs wise. So there's that. Home runs, we were 5th, and if we take a look at ERA really quick, it is second in baseball. The Rays were just leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else. So there we go. Awards, what do we have? Rookie of the Year goes to Tim Hickey, but when 2 players are hitting like this for the Rangers, it's gonna be tough. Andrew Vaughn with the Red Sox, interesting. Ohtani wins, was that 4 in a row now? Yeah. Well, technically 5 if you count 2023, right? So just give him all the awards. Matt Olson and Nolan Gorman were also in the race. We look at Kyle Wright. Wow, okay. Shohei, again, there's another award for him. Brandon Marsh and Evan Carter are the batting title winners. What is Julian putting up? Because this is crazy. Also, the World Series stuff that he popped off for, insane. Really went to Class A. And Nelson. Mason Miller was once again in there. It was just Class A had an unbelievable season. 52 saves, 2 blown. Also had 4 holds and was lights out. There was just no chance. There was no chance. He would have, Mason Miller would have had to been perfect to win the award, essentially. Owen Casey was Rookie of the Year. I'm actually high on him in real life. I think that the bat is just electric for him. And then there he is. Tim Hickey, 25 home runs, 26 doubles. So that's a decent season. I'll take it. Wilmer Flores, yes, the brother of Wilmer Flores, was second in the race. And if we take a look at this, hold on. For the postseason, this is what we're gonna rock with. Joe Boyle and Lewis Roman essentially had the same stat line, like 540 with a 1.6 whip for Boyle, 550 with the 1.48 whip. Essentially, it was the same. Roman, he's 23. He's going to need some time to develop. Joe Boyle, on the other hand, just really, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. Like, the per-nines aren't terrible. I just think maybe he's suited for more of like a bullpen role, like kind of what JP Sears was doing this season, and he was fantastic. Hernandez also was very good, not really improving too much more, which is okay. We do have a couple arms down here. Moreno, Weathers, Cletus House, I think technically Kyle Muller too. So we've got some arms that we can turn to. Eli Morgan continues to be very good. Kelly Luther, whew, thank you Royals. Sandlin was also fantastic. Garrett Crochet, a little bit high ERA and whip. And then, of course, Mason Miller was second in the reliever of the year. So pretty solid season, I would say. Like, basically, we gave him that save or that closer role the first year. He wasn't quite ready yet. He wasn't there yet. Moved him to the middle relief, then gave him the closer role again. He has ran with it since. Luzardo continues to develop, continues to do well. Love it. Tristan McKenzie, I'll take that. That is awesome. Huge season for him. Jordan Montgomery is starting to regress, so it seems like this will be the last season with him. But again, very solid, just dependable. That's what we needed in that 3 spot. Chris Reyes struggled a little bit, but he'll be the 4 for the postseason. And I think with these 3, we should be fine. Lineup wise, Jacob Wilson once again got sent down, which is super disappointing. But off the bench, Brent Rooker was kind of nasty. Shea Langoliers, yikes. Brian De La Cruz was also quite good. He faced lefties, so he got a few more at bats than normal, but he was good. I'm happy with those numbers. Okay, Luis Garcia, I see you. That's impressive. We've got Jordan Diaz, who was also impressive off the bench. So realistically, our bench is set. We could keep him. We could let him walk. It really just depends. But the bench essentially set. I mean, we have a couple guys that definitely could take over if need be. Prince, how we looking? He got caught a lot. We should probably stop trying to steal with him. I know he's got the speed, but he doesn't have the steal. But he has everything else. Home runs, doubles, RBIs. Just, yeah, he's crazy good. Zach Geloff is also crazy good. He may not have, wait, who had more home runs? Prince did. Zach Geloff, 21 though. I'm happy with that. Almost 400 on base percentage. Ryan Noda, still doing well. I'm happy with those numbers. Almost 40 home runs. Yes, please. Miguel Sano, did he do it again? 34. He fell too short. But I think this is the end for Miguel Sano, and it was a great run. Tim Hickey was Rookie of the Year for a reason. He had a good season. Soderstrom continues to struggle, which is super disappointing. I was hoping he was our catcher. Jacob Wilson is also struggling, but he's improving. Actually, 270. The on-base percentage is a little low, but the OPS is going up. The slug is going up. He's getting there. Jackson Holiday, how we looking? There we go. Finally. That's what we've been looking for. And then Clark Elliott, did he have the sophomore slump, or did he follow up with another good season? Sophomore slump. Okay, that's fine. We'll throw in. Oop, that's not what I wanted. I wanted Jacob Wilson. I think for the postseason, just based off of his struggles, I think Brian De La Cruz needs to start. And then also, I think versus righties, Langoliers starts. And then versus lefties, Soderstrom starts. I just think for the postseason, that's what we have to do here. We've already set up the starting rotation. Jay Gabriel is back. Can we get revenge? No. I think the Rangers are just going to be our kryptonite this rebuild, which is super disappointing. The Braves end up winning. I'm not even going to look at their team. I don't want to be disgusted by how good it is. Stupid Braves. And of course, we're like the Athletics, so we're basically just their feeder team, which makes things even worse. I really don't hate the Braves. I mean, they've got a lot of good players. It's just they're way too good in this game. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like the Rangers and the Braves, they're going to be my kryptonite all year. They're just going to be those two teams that they always have crazy good lineups, crazy good pitching, and they're just going to be so difficult to beat. Sandlin, we got to bring him back. He's been fantastic. Let's do 1-6. Montgomery, thank you, sir. Salute. You know what? Let's bring him back. $7 million for what he put up. I'm okay with that. That's a good bench bat price. Brent Rooker, what are we thinking? I'm going to see if there's someone that is equally as good. Like $4 million, $5 million. Again, really not that bad. We'll sign him just in case. We'll bring him back. And then Miguel Sano. Thank you, sir, for the home runs. How many home runs in total since we've acquired you? 36 plus 36 is 72 plus 30 is 102 for 106 home runs in 3 seasons. I will take that. Check the math, quick maths. That's right. I hope. Outside of that, I think we did pretty good there. How are we looking for the off season? Couple guys maybe added to the 40 man, but we are at 35, so we gotta be a little bit smart. Definitely need to pay some people here and also here. But what do we do? Is Joe Boyle the guy? Is Lewis Roman the guy? Again, is Echeverria the guy? I feel like we got to give Echeverria a shot. I feel like he deserves one. Long relief or something. Same thing with Luis Morales. We've got a couple guys who are fighting it out for that sixth man spot. I feel like we need a starter no matter what. It's just, if Roman does this again or Boyle does this again, if JP Sears just, is good enough, maybe we can slot him into the rotation. But I do feel like we need that solid guy to fill out the rotation, and then of course add a couple bullpen arms because those two didn't sign. But I mean, we kind of do have some bullpen arms that we could turn to as well. And then offensively, I felt like we were good. So he resigned. Perfect. I think let's just get a big boy bat. Like, I get we do have a couple guys in AAA. Actually, we really don't. I think we go out and sign. Who's the best, like, big bat available? Doesn't. Ooh, not really one. What was first base? It's like Freddie Freeman gonna be good enough for a season? Yandy? Ooh, is there a trade I could do? Maybe like a quick little search, just a quick one. We'll go with power versus lefties. We'll do like just 80, and then power versus righties. We'll do 80 as well. See who's available. Otani, Seager, Jordan. Okay, O'Neal Cruz, Devers, Torkelson. He's with that. What? He always gets traded. Always. Okay, I think Devers. How do I make this possible? I feel like, no, not Elliott, but maybe like, man, Devers is super easy to trade for because of his contract being so big. Wow, man, Miles Naylor's actually been developing pretty nicely. He easily gets. Could I do Devers for just Miles Naylor straight up? Yes. Sorry. It's gotta happen. Max Muncy, Cooper Bowman. Like, are we serious right now? What about a pitcher that like I'm not gonna use? Maybe Connor Phillips, just to kind of make it somewhat. Honestly, why not? All right, so the Devers trade actually kind of handcuffed me money wise, where I can't afford that pitcher I was looking for, so I'm gonna trade for a catcher from the Guardians for 3 players. Just really haven't been able to break into the team in Kyle Muller, Colby Thomas, and Luis Medina. That leaves me with 12 mil. All right, so here we go. The additions that kind of put me in the situation that I was, well, obviously Devers, but I also went out and got Felix Bautista. I know Crochet has been struggling a little bit in the setup role, so I thought, you know what, let's take him out and we'll pick up Bautista. It was 7 mil, which that 7 mil would have brought us up to like high teens for availability for a starter. So like, money wise, didn't really do the best with it, but I thought Felix Bautista for a season has to be good enough, right? I felt like our bullpen could have used a little bit of a buff, especially with Moreno being an option there. And then kind of looking at the rest of the arms, I've got plenty of people on waivers, don't worry. But Joe Boyle, 66 stamina, let's see how he does as a long reliever. And then JP Sears, I have a feeling we're going to turn to AAA or a trade for starters. Yeah. I went all out on offense, though. I feel like that was definitely needed. And looking at the team, I feel like this is a really good team. I feel like I'm missing somebody in the outfield. Who am I missing? Center, left. Nope, I think we're good. Oh, yeah, because he struggled. I took him out. But, like, I think Brian De La Cruz probably is a slightly better outfielder currently. So I think we rock like this. We're currently ranked 3rd. Obviously, the budget was 14 mil like we talked about. But next year, we got money to spend, and the year after, and the year after. So this year was probably the tightest that we've had money-wise, which I did spend a little bit more than I should have, and I didn't spend it in the right areas. I guess I didn't spend more than I was supposed to. I just didn't put it in the right areas. That's really the big thing there. So I'm going to rock with this. I have faith in the team. I just need them to perform like I know they can. So let's finish off this final season. All right, so 91-71, won the division, which is awesome. We're taking on the Astros, though, which is, again, not a great matchup. So there's that. But, I mean, Kansas City's gross. They added Sandy Alcantara to their rotation, which already had Cease, Reagans, and Zach Gallen. So, yeah, it's crazy. League leaders, we had Devers with hits, so it looks like offensively that was the right move. And team rankings wise, where are we? Batting average 11th. Runs, we were top 10. We were 7th. Home runs, we were top 10 once again. So like offensively, it looks like we're a good team. Pitching wise, how were we? Ooh, 8th. We fell off a little bit. Okay, so there's that. Awards, what do we have here? Jordan just beats out Devers. Okay, Ozzy Albies wins it on the other side. Spencer Strider is back on top with the Cy Young. Jose Urquidy, I guess, is just nasty. Dylan Seaton. The Royals are going to be gross. Alvarez and Marsh are your batting title winners. Pete Fairbanks, along with Tyler Holton, are the relievers of the year. And then Samuel Basayo, along with Reese Hines, are rookies of the season or rookies of the year. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna arrange that. All right, so pitching wise, it definitely took a hit. Luis Morales was okay, 20 innings. The big issue was this: see potential, and he struggled. Bummer. I'm really disappointed with that outcome. I forgot to add Echeverria to the 40 man. I would if we kept moving forward with this rebuild. And then Cletus House definitely deserved to get called up, and I didn't. I think he's on the 40 man though, so I guess I could call him up because some of these arms really struggle. Like Eli Morgan struggled, Garrison Moreno, maybe Cletus is what we needed this whole time. Garrison Moreno, I mean, I guess we don't even need that extra starter. So I think we're gonna take, I guess, Morales down. Let's kind of see what the pitching rotation looks like then. So then Cletus, I guess we're gonna go 4-man regardless. And then maybe like Luther comes up here because he's got 44 stamina. And then maybe like that. I think. Oh, hold on. Wait a second. This is a huge mess. Wow. Oh, we might be in some trouble. All right, it's sorted. Weathers is going to be our long reliever. He's got the stamina to do it. He didn't pitch this year. I have faith. Morgan, what happened, man? Crochet was better. We took him out of that setup role. Yeah, there we go. Moreno was fine. The 4.3 ERA is a little tough, but the whip's in a good spot. Kelly Luther was fantastic. This guy looks to be a huge pickup for us. Bautista was also fantastic, along with Mason Miller. So for the most part, it was just a lot of chopping and changing. And then our 4-man rotation currently looks like this. I definitely dropped the ball on the rotation, especially leaving Joe Boyle, and a couple of the other guys. I really should have gotten a really strong 3 and solidified the rotation. It really just comes back on me dropping the ball there. If we take a look at players that got, had an okay season, he only had 20 at bats, so not really. Soderstrom, better versus lefties, but again, never really hit the heights I was looking for. Garcia, kind of what happened to him. Same thing with Jordan Diaz. It just kind of looks like everybody really just fell apart this season. It kind of just underperformed. Even Prince struggled. Zach Geloff was good though, so at least we had that highlight, almost 40 home runs. We've got Devers, who was a big pickup for us. Really needed this, but then it just kind of seemed like everybody else, Noda fell off a little bit. Hickey, sophomore slump. Shea, I think we just go with Soderstrom instead. How did Jacob Wilson? Yeah, that's unfortunate. Jackson Holiday was good with 24 home runs. I'm actually going to move him up in the lineup. Can't be 4 though. That's the issue. I guess he goes 5. And then maybe Wilson there, Hickey, and then how is Brian Garcia or Brian De La Cruz looking? Good. He's good. He's solid. I'm okay with that. The issue is now, who comes in versus lefties here? Maybe go like that versus lefties. The issue now is like we face a really good Astros team, and I just don't know what to expect. So here we go. Let's see what happens. We win the first, lose the second. JP Sears, didn't think I'd expect this from him, but all right, cool. We won that. This is the tough one. Just really quickly, I'll show you what the Royals look like. This is what it looks like. It's a very good team. Very good team. Pitching elite stuff. This is going to be tough. This is going to be so tough. How do we do? We win the first, okay. And the second. Lose the third. Okay, what about the Twins? What are we looking like with the Twins here? We have another really good team. Holy cow. This might be it. This might be it for us. They're even better than the Royals, which I didn't expect. Who's pitching? Roman. I mean, that was Sears, right? So I think we can move everybody up a spot. I think we'd be fine. How's everybody looking? For the most part, good. All right, Luzardo, I need you. That's a good start. Tristan McKenzie, I need you to be better. JP Sears is killing it, man. And Roman. Luzardo loses. Tristan McKenzie, I need you to break it. The 0-3 that you got going on in the postseason, he does. That's big. Phillies, they've got McClanahan. That is a big pickup for them. And looking at the team offensively, I think we might be able to compete for sure. Pitching, McClanahan, Tarek Skubal, like, oh boy, that is even the bullpen. It's one of those sneaky good bullpens. And looking at our rotation, I honestly think we might start with Sears. He's been really good. And then I think just because of how things are looking, we go Luzardo here, Roman, and then we finish it off with Tristan McKenzie, just because people have been McKenzie's been struggling. Prince needs to get out of this spot. We need to move some players around here. And I think just based off of how things are looking, that might be the move. And pitching's good. JP Sears, I like it. JP Sears in the World Series with the Athletics. What am I saying? And he wins the first, and we win the second, and we win the third. Tristan McKenzie, please. The sweep. The sweep. The sweep. Tim Hickey. Zach Geloff. Homegrown talents on top. Wilson and Geloff. Tim Hickey with a 625 average. Geloff with the 426 for the postseason. Insane. How are we looking pitching wise? McKenzie, little lackluster, but JP Sears, wow. Talk about an unsung hero throughout the entire rebuild. Like, the 2025 sucked, right? But like around a 4 ERA, just did good enough to keep his spot. Luzardo bringing him back was big. Lewis Roman. And then the bullpen, how we looking? Once we turned it over to the bullpen, didn't allow a run. And then Jackson Holiday was good. Geloff was unbelievable. Devers, Noda was Jacob Wilson was fantastic. That is what we needed from him. He was slacking all rebuild. Pops up in the World Series. McMullen was good. Soderstrom, Hickey, De La Cruz sucked, but the rest were good. That's the Athletics rebuild. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content. And in the comment section, let me know what team we should rebuild next. And if you're looking for more rebuild content, check out the video on screen now. I think you'll really enjoy it. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.